TechCrunch TV at Le Web again, and I have with me Pierre Kosciusko-Morizet from Priceminister, the CEO and founder. Now you exited to Rakuten for 200 million back in June. How does it feel?
Well, it feels good. It's been a great adventure so far. I mean, a great 10 years adventure until June, and a great adventure so far with Rakuten. And the very good thing is that we have a great autonomy to develop Priceminister in Europe. So that's really a good challenge. And life hasn't changed much, actually. I'm working more than before, which means a lot. And we have more, more money to invest in new things, in acquiring companies in Europe and investing to develop Priceminister. So that's great.
So you're on the acquisition trail now.
Yeah, well, I'm basically the manager and founder of Priceminister. We signed up for 5 years with Rakuten, and we're heading the European expansion of the group, which means both investing ourselves, creating subsidiaries in, for example, we have already one in the UK, and we're going to invest more there. And we're also looking at potential targets, acquisition targets. Although there are not so many in Europe, but there are a few that are interesting that we're looking at. Yeah.
And what other markets are you looking to expand into?
So we're already in Spain and UK, and we're going to invest more there. We're looking now at Germany, and we might also look further east than Germany, where we're just starting that.
Let's talk a little bit generally about the whole e-commerce market. Everyone's talking about how Groupon recently turned down the offer from Google. What's your feeling, apart from anything else, there's quite a fascinating European trend in commerce, but what's your feeling about the future in terms of social, mobile, for instance, in your market?
It's very difficult to say, because I think it's really just the beginning. Rakuten is making over 20% of their sales on mobile in Japan, and in France, m-commerce is said to be 1 or 2% of e-commerce, so it's just nothing, right? So that's really starting.
But it's growing.
It's growing very fast, obviously. Yeah, and we at Priceminister, actually, I personally said for a long time, we should not go on mobile commerce now, because it's a lot of buzz, but it's not really happening. And we changed about 6 months ago, saying, okay, now it's happening, we have to go there. And so I think it's obviously just the beginning. In terms of social commerce, I don't like that word so much, because it's very vague. But what I hear in Groupon is more local than social, actually. Obviously, it's both, and I think the local thing is very interesting. So, web is very global, obviously, but now it's getting local. It's not new at all. I remember at Google Zeitgeist in 2005, I think, the main word of the week was local. So, that's not new. But that's happening now in e-commerce, whereas before e-commerce was, almost not local at all. So that's very new. It's actually very interesting for us, because at Priceminister we're not local. We're really distance e-commerce, and Rakuten is distance e-commerce as well. So we're really thinking about, whether we should or how we could become more local.
I see. Yesterday at Le Web, Marissa Mayer on stage, who was talking about local and Google's focus on that now. How do you think that Google's strategy will fit into the commerce ecosystem against players like yourself?
I try not to think too much against Google. I think they're too powerful, so that you should think against them. But basically, I'll be very interested in how they can, develop really e-commerce features. Basically, Google has a huge weight of e-commerce, but they don't really act in that, And what they're doing in travel is interesting, or the fact they wanted to buy Groupon is interesting. But so far, they've not really, they've always taken that step back. So saying we don't go in e-commerce ourselves. I'm sure they'll end up doing e-commerce. I don't know when, but if they had bought Groupon, it would have been a real new thing, a real new step. And just the fact, even though they didn't buy them, just the fact that they wanted to, I think is very important for all e-commerce players. And we have to think about, whether they can come in our business or not. In the intermediation business, they tried a few times. They never succeeded. So I'm not that that afraid of them on that thing. But of course, we buy a lot of traffic from them, so they're a key partner.
So quickly, 2011, what does it hold for you?
Well, it's really European expansion, at least launching two more countries in Europe, with local teams and big investments.
And do you think you'll ever slow down post-acquisition yourself, personally?
I might, but so far...
You're still hungry?
Oh yeah. I love my job. I don't feel like retiring. And the deal we have with Rakuten is really good because, you know, I mean, Tokyo is far away, so they knew they had to either trust us or not do the deal. So there is a very good level of trust. And so far we've been performing very well. So, I mean, you know, we're above budget, so the relation is very good. So I feel, you know, then if we start performing badly, probably relation will be more tense, but I hope that will not happen. So.
Well, Pierre, thank you very much for talking to TechCrunch TV.
Thank you very much.